Hey, Dr. Rachel here, and a good friend of mine left his vape pen in the car over the weekend, and his girlfriend left her vape pen. So I know for a fact he struggles with stiffness because he told me, he said she's coming in town. What can you give me? And so the motivation behind this video, because he's not a smoker, he doesn't smoke every day. He just smokes a little bit on the weekend. The motivation behind this video is that you may vape or smoke or puff or hookah on the weekends and how this could impact erectile health. Let's get into it. So in this video, we're going to uncover how smoking and vaping, even if it's just on the weekends, can drastically impact your sexual health. Yes, you heard that right. While most discussions about smoking and vaping focus on respiratory health and cardiovascular health and cancer, it's crucial to understand that these habits can also severely affect your blood vessel system, your vascular system, which in turn impacts your sexual function. I'll be referring to the erection as a eel or whale interchangeably during this video to keep YouTube happy. So hit the subscribe button below so that you'll get instant notification when a video designed to help your eel become a whale is actually available here on YouTube. So welcome back to the channel. Now, if you're tuning in for the first time, leave a comment below and subscribe. I'm Dr. Rachel Ross, a board-certified family physician and clinical sexologist, here to dive into some of the most pressing men's health topics impacting your life today. And today we're going to explore the scientific mechanisms behind why vaping, puffing on a hookah, smoking cigarettes, puffing on cigars, and or cloves can actually destroy erectile function, even if it's just periodically. Specifically looking at something called endothelial cell function. What is it and why it's important, and why you have to understand this in order to understand how this can compromise your erectile function and how it can lead to long-term problems affecting everything from your heart to how you perform really in the bedroom. And I'll also tell you how you can fix and recover from it. Make your eel great again, right? So if you've ever wondered about the broader impacts of smoking or vaping, or if you're looking for more reasons to quit or to help someone else do so, stick around. This video is packed with vital information that could not only enhance your eel's ability to swim in that mighty ocean, but also bring it back to being that mighty whale it's been intended to be. So let's start by understanding what endothelial function is and why it's fundamental to both the health of your blood vessels, your sex drive, and your mighty eel. Understanding it really requires you to understand that the endothelium is just this thin membrane that lines the inside of the heart and the blood vessels. And it's made up of tiny endothelial cells that really regulate blood flow, and they dictate the vessel diameter, how wide it is, and whether or not these blood vessels are going to stay open wide enough for blood to come rushing in for you to get stiff, or whether or not they'll close off and clamp down so that very little blood flow under high pressure kind of comes through. Now, besides producing the substances that control blood vessel relaxation and contraction, these cells actually also regulate blood clotting, immune function, and the stickiness of the blood. So these cells are essentially kind of the gatekeepers for your blood vessel health, and they influence how blood circulates throughout your body and your organs when these cells are damaged. Because then you get poor blood flow, high blood pressure, ED or erectile dysfunction, blood clots, strokes, heart attacks, and the list could go on and on and on. So the impact of smoking and vaping, now this is cigarettes, these are cigars. If you're inhaling, this is introducing harmful chemicals to the body, including nicotine, carbon monoxide, and various other toxins, because there's a lot of scents and flavors in these things. And these substances have direct negative impact on those cells and how they function, and they become dysfunctional, leading to erectile dysfunction, which can lead to a cascade of problems. The biggest one to mention is that your body begins to make less nitric oxide. So nitric oxide is the things that generic Viagra and Cialis and Blue Chew and all these gummies and all these other things that you see offered to you works to increase. They're all working to increase nitric oxide, but if there's no nitric oxide there, they don't work as well. And they're all designed to get that nitric oxide to stick around and do its job. Vaping, cigarettes, smoking, cigars, hookah, all of them, if you inhale them, you're directly impacting that level of nitric oxide within your body immediately. And nitric oxide is crucial for blood vessel relaxation, dilation, and it removes your body's ability to produce this vital molecule, leading to stiffer, hardened arteries, not erections, and higher blood pressure and ED. Yeah, these toxic chemicals actually cause inflammation and lesions to that lining that we're talking about, which predisposes you to cardiovascular disease, atherosclerosis, the arteries becoming clogged and narrowed. If the blood flow can't get to the heart, it can't get to the D, can't get to your eel. And this impacts your ability to function properly and to get stiff, which is why it's seen as the precursor to heart disease and can directly not just affect sexual health, desire, but really erectile function and heart function. Let's focus specifically on sexual health and how these habits influence sex drive and erectile function. So look at what the research tells us about this. ED in men and low sex drive in men and women can be traced back to poor vascular health caused by smoking and vaping. Because if the genitals aren't getting proper blood flow and priming, women get dry and men lose stiffness. So in order to transform your eel into a whale, it depends on the ability of these blood vessels within the tissue to relax and open wide enough to allow a rush, a gush of blood. And as smoking and vaping, whether it's on the weekends or on a regular basis, they will impair this process. Even cigar smoking, resulting in a weaker erection and the inability to maintain one for sufficient duration. And this directly impacts sexual performance and satisfaction. You don't need to go get another partner. You need to get off this stuff because that nicotine and the toxins, they not only damage blood vessels, but also interfere with the balance of sex hormones in the body, which can lead to decreased libido because it interferes with testosterone and estrogen, which means less desire for sex, further complicating sexual health. No doubt you're saying, Dr. Rachel, it's only on weekends, or I could stop anytime, or I'm just smoking cigars with the boys. Well, let's talk about what the research shows, because the research consistently supports these observations. I'm not just talking up here. For example, a study published in the Journal of Sexual Medicine found that men who smoked were more likely to suffer from ED than those who did not smoke. And similar effects have been observed within vaping, although research is still catching up to provide comprehensive data comparable to smoking, because this is a newer thing. Now, the reversibility of effects. Now, good news, though. With vascular recovery, sexual health can improve. After you quit smoking, quit vaping, quit smoking cigars, studies have shown that men who quit see an improvement in sexual performance and a decrease in incidence of ED. Bam! Now, recovery time can vary, but improvements are typically noticeable within a few months, which really correlates with the restoration and the healing of that endothelial cell function and improved blood flow. Now, blood flow has to be ready to go in order for your eel to get and stay stiff. It's got to be ready. It's got to be there. And when you smoke or vape, the chemicals don't just damage the cells, they also cause an immediate constriction of the blood vessels, changes to the blood vessels. They clamp down. The nicotine in tobacco and e-cigarettes actually causes that constriction, reducing blood flow throughout the whole body, particularly to your eel. Your body has an incredible capacity to heal. And the endothelium is absolutely no exception to this, because once you stop smoking, vaping, hooking, smoking pipes, cigars, your body begins to repair that endothelial level, improving blood vessel function and overall cardiovascular health. The recovery timeline actually varies based on several factors. It varies based on the duration and intensity of the smoking or vaping. Were you just doing it on the weekends, or were you hitting it a few times a day? Overall health. How was your endothelial cell functioning before you started? Your lifestyle choices. What are you eating? Do you move much? Are you using a lot of products on your body that are making things worse? Well, how old are you? Your genetic factors, all of those impact. And here's what we know from scientific studies about recovery. Short-term recovery. Now, within just a few hours of quitting smoking, your blood pressure and your heart rate actually begin to return to normal levels as blood vessels start to relax. And within a few weeks, circulation, blood flow, and lung function can actually improve, making physical activities easier, less strenuous, more stamina. And in long-term recovery, the process of kind of reversing endothelial damage can't take much longer. And studies have shown that significant improvements in those cell functions can be observed within 3 to 6 months after quitting. However, for the arteries to begin clearing out the plaques formed by inflammation and damage to the endothelium to significantly reduce it, it might take a few years, particularly if you've been doing this for years, decades. So, and it's going to take maintaining a smoke-free lifestyle to see those changes. But let's talk about how we can speed this recovery up, right? I'm always like, how can we make this better? First thing, you got to work on getting your nitric oxide levels up. Increase your body's nitric oxide levels by eating nitrate-rich foods. Start drinking my eFunction smoothies, which are really nitrate-rich and full of clinically proven ingredients to boost nitric oxide production and improve stiffness. And as a gift to you, actually, I'll send you a link to download a cheat sheet of 5 simple food items that you can eat today, starting today, to immediately begin to change things around the stiffness, stiffen up naturally, and start to protect yourself from smoking, because the antioxidants that you take in actually battles those toxins that you inhale. Touche! So here's another tip. In order to boost nitric oxide production while you're asleep, sleep with your mouth closed. You may ask, well, Doc, what does that have to do with it? Well, nasal breathing will boost nitric oxide production like none other. And if you actually snore or someone you love does, actually check out the video I did on that, and you will get some results. Next is diet. Change to eating a nitrate-rich diet, omega-3 fatty acids, things high in magnesium to improve enhance the ability of these blood vessels to improve their health, right? And then, of course, exercise. Move more. Movement actually will speed up this recovery process of endothelial cell function, but I don't want you to overdo it. If you know your blood vessels are all messed up, give them time to recover before you go run a marathon. You could actually kill yourself, literally. Now, of course, controlling other risk factors such as diabetes, control your diabetes, your cholesterol, your blood pressure is also crucial to aid in this recovery process and to prevent further damage. It's important to recognize that while the damage from smoking and vaping is significant, the ability to recover is powerful. The body's resilience could serve as a motivating factor for anyone looking to quit, knowing that recovery is not only possible, but also measurable. Yeah, you can actually give you some hope and encouragement. If you smoke or vape, whether it's a pen, it's a hookah, it's a pipe, consider this information as another motivating factor to quit. It's not just about reducing your risk for lung cancer or breathing easier, although these are really important reasons. It's also about enhancing your quality of life, your relationships, your impact, your drive. And quitting smoking or vaping is undoubtedly challenging. But when you realize that the benefits extend further beyond what you initially considered, it makes sense. So if you found this video helpful, like it, subscribe for more insightful content and how to make your eel into a whale, and drop your comments below and share your experiences and concerns regarding smoking, vaping, pipes, whatever. And remember, every step towards stopping is really a step towards a healthier, fuller life and a healthier and fuller eel. See ya.